Hello, my name is Ami Watanabe. Today, I will talk about cultural appropriation. It is called 文化の盗用 in Japanese. According to Oxford Dictionary, cultural appropriation is defined that the unacknowledged or inappropriate adoption of customs, practice, ideas, etc. of one people or society by members of another and typically dominant group. I first heard this word when the news about the Ariana Grande's tattoo in kanji came out. So I thought it was a new concept or new problem in the world, but it was wrong. The criticism of cultural appropriation is nothing new. It is originated the paper of sociology in 1990s. In 1990s, thanks to the increase of social media, the problem of cultural appropriation became much more visible and active in over much active over the few years. I will introduce some examples that have been accused on SNS. First example is kimono. An American model, Kim Kardashian, named her shapewear brand Kimono in 2019. It includes bras, briefs, shorts, and underwear. It includes underwear, bras, briefs, shorts, and bodysuits. She said she had no plans to design and release any clothes that is disgraceful to someone, and she said that her brand is built with inclusivity and diversity at its core. However, the name of brand was accused by many one as a neglect of Japanese culture. Most of Japanese people concerned about that the name of kimono would spread all over the world as a underwear's brand name, not as a Japanese traditional clothes. Also, there was a signature collecting movement against the trademark registration of the brand name kimono with using hashtag Kim or no. The second example is Dolce & Gabbana. In the promotional videos for the upcoming show in Shanghai 2018, a Chinese model is struggling to eat Italian food with chopsticks. She was holding chopsticks one by one and eating pizza or spaghetti with smiling. It is an obviously incorrect way to use chopsticks. So Dolce & Gabbana had a rush of criticism as an insult to China or other chopsticks culture. According to two examples, using the culture that you do not belong to is very difficult and often be accused. However, in contrast, there are some examples of being praised, even though they also use other culture. The first one is Dior. An Italian designer of Dior showed Moroccan culture in her show in Marrakesh 2019. Even though she used other culture, but she placed because of its attention to detail. To say concretely, conducted the research of Moroccan culture or working with local artists or employing an expert on African clothes. So people could understand her effort and educated themselves. The second example is this American woman. This African American woman called Morgan Block upload a clip of her Irish dancing with hip-hop music on her SNS. She does not look Irish people, so some people accused her. However, the reaction was overwhelmingly positive. In her interview, since when she first met Irish dance, she have practiced Irish dance so hard. Maybe because she her dance was so good. None of people I introduced in this presentation intended to hurt or offend someone or its culture. So what is the difference between Dolce and Gabbana and Dior or Kim Kardashian and this girl? This is my opinion. People who use other culture should or must show their intention clearly, not only word in action. The concrete attitude of understanding the history of dominance or the respect for the culture are essential. Moreover, it may be most important things, studying and treating the culture in correct way is the key of being accepted by many people. In conclusion, in conclusion, the problem of cultural appropriation is not new. However, thanks to the SNS in these days, using other culture get framed easily and easier than before. So, to avoid accusation, people who use other culture have to pay attention to details, like making effort and showing it clearly. I think not only word, in action is important. So, and studying the history or the culture and treating correct way is so important. However, if people do that, some people may accuse. So I can say it is case by case or different to person. So there is not perfect answer. So it is very difficult problem. These are references for this presentation. Thank you for listening.